What is going on, everybody? Welcome. I'm Coach Jan, and welcome to Tai Chi to the People. So we do this every week, Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. And Justice for Hire is the sponsoring entity, the show that we're producing with a series with the community. It's a series that we're producing with the community where anyone can join the cast. And I love sharing Tai Chi as the producer of the series. I love sharing Tai Chi because there's a lot of action in the series, a lot of martial arts, a lot of action, and there's a lot of people who don't do martial arts in the series as well. But I think Tai Chi is something that really bridges all of that. You know, whether or not you are a fighter, Tai Chi helps you slow yourself down to speed up your perception. And I love sharing it because of that. It helps me in all aspects of my life, in my business, in my health, longevity, my athleticism, all those things. So I love sharing Tai Chi, and that's what we do every Tuesday. And it's open to anybody. It's free, and you can normally we were dedicate the session to the cause of the week because we're running an equity crowdfunding campaign right now for our studio that's producing Justice for Hire. I'd like to send everybody to wefunder.com/realworld. That's REELWURLD because you're in it, the you. And yeah, everybody is welcome to join, to invest in the company, and to own a part of the company. And we have some really fun, exciting stuff happening in the coming. I mean, now. I mean, it's happening right now, but more will be happening soon. And so. That said, let's get to some training. Mark just came on. We're going to do some. Mark is also a wonderful, very studied Tai Chi practitioner and martial artist. So he's here with us, and we're going to do some great training today. And Mark, if there's anything that you want to work on in particular, let me know.
Okay.
And I feel like we haven't done this in a while. Maybe it's Mark because we haven't trained in a while together. Maybe it feels like we haven't done Tai Chi to the people in a while. But very excited about doing this. And of course, you guys know that I'm preparing for the World Series of Tai Chi push hands. So that is something that I am working on a fairly regular basis at this point. You know, I'm pretty much in my pro level training at this point, which is great. So there's a lot of energy being expended toward strengthening the body for impact and also sensitivity. And so I want to do some exercises today that we haven't done in a while for our shoulders, for our waists, and we'll bring all this stuff together. And let's start off with what we normally work on, which is the warm up of imaginary string lifting from the top of the head, gilded pillar. The tailbone drops straight down. Relaxation cascades down from the top of the head through the spine with the tailbone. Hips should feel like a bowl of water that you're holding. You don't want to tip it either way. Relaxing. Weight on the center of each heel. Knees slightly bent, palms facing flat down. Special attention on the middle finger of each palm. Mouth closed, tongue on the ceiling of the mouth. All the breathing in through the nose, using the belly to pump the air. More specifically, the lower dantian, the 2 inches or 3 finger lengths below the belly button. Use that area, focus on that area, and do your best to give yourself the visualization, seeing the breath as a color going into the belly, filling up the entire lower abdominal area. Inhale to the belly. Exhale, wash the color down the arms to the palms and the fingertips. All the breathing in and out to the nose. Inhaling deep. Exhale, washing it down. And soften the hands. Inhaling up. Exhale, wash the color through the palms and fingertips. Inhaling up. Exhaling down, uplifting heaven. Inhaling up. Exhaling. Breathing formula 2, inhaling up. Even deeper. Interlace, exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Breathing formula 3. Inhale in. Exhale out. Inhale 1. Deeper 2. Deeper 3. And breathing formula 4. Stage 1. Even deeper 2. Even deeper 3. Even deeper 4. Exhaling out. One more time. This time we'll use the belly on stage 1. The obliques expand out on stage 2, the inhalation. Lower back on stage 3. The entire belt, stage 4. Exhaling down. Hollow fist resting around the hips. Exhale, pelvis rotates on the femur. Inhale, breath pulls you to the side and up. Exhale down. 2, inhaling up. Exhale down. 3. And 4. And reverse it. And reverse it again. Inhaling up, exhale, fall. Inhale, extend, exhale, back. Inhale, extend, exhale to the side. Inhale, extend, exhale down. And reverse it. Inhaling up, exhale, drop. Inhale, extend, exhale, drop. Inhale, extend up, exhale, drop. Inhale, extend up, exhale, drop. Drop the hands, breath. Pulse the wrists up. Exhale, wash the palms and fingertips. Inhale, breathe. Exhale, hands float down, softening the muscle on the back. Inhaling up. Exhale out. Gather, exhale. Pelvis rotates in the femur. Of course, doing. And the legs. Nice feet straight down, elbows in front of the eyes, chest parallel to the ground. Straight line from top of the head, tailbone, back flat like a table. Belly, exhale down the legs. Into the belly, down the arms and palms and fingers. Into the belly. Exhale for the lung strengthening. Exhale wherever you want to gain strength. Inhale, open the hands. Exhale, reaching through the legs, straight back. Palms up, facing the ceiling and the sky. Inhale, reestablish the collarbone, lift it up. Chin down, eyes forward. Inhale into the belly. Exhale, down the legs into the ground. Into the belly. Exhale, down the arms and palms and fingertips. Into the belly. Exhale through the lungs. Really visualize the color washing around the lungs as you exhale. Inhale to the belly. And exhale, spread the color around the whole body, soften the body. Hands float down. Inhale, breath lifts up. Exhale, washing out. And stay seated. We'll hold embracing the one for a moment. Inhaling to the belly. Exhale, pushing the color with the palms and fingertips. Shoulder blades disappear into the upper back. Back is flat. Imaginary string lifts you up. Six breaths. Palms facing up. Roll the breath up the front, exhale down the back, 6 breaths. Inhale, draw the wrists in. Exhaling down. Inhale, hollow fist. Exhale, turning the backs of the hands to touch each other. Backs of the hollow fist. And inhale, drawing the wrists in. Exhaling. Through the index and middle finger knuckles, turn the palms. My hands are upside down. And inhale. You can stand if you like on the inhalation and exhale, sink and sit. Just to warm up the legs, standing on the inhalation. Exhale, sink. Inhale, repeat. Really feel the twist in the shoulders, softening. And do 4 more seated. Inhale, open the palms. Palms up to the shoulders. Exhale out, keeping the elbows down. Inhale, opening up. Inhale, reaching the fingers to the armpits. The palms go up. And down. Inhaling back. Even deeper. One of the things there I'd like to note is that you might find yourself pulling your shoulders back, and sometimes that might feel really, really good. And it's important and there's a bunch of neck open exercises where this happens, where you can operate where the shoulders remain static and very, very relaxed. And only the shoulder blades push forward, inhaling, opening. Notice that my shoulders are not pulling back in this way. So I'm really leading with the breath work through the fingertips. I'm leading with my fingers, and my fingers are catalyzed by my breath. So it's important to do these exercises like this without moving the shoulders. And then if you want to do the shoulder movement, make it very intentional. So if I choose to pull my shoulders back and hands up, and then I push it forward, make it very intentional. So in here, I'm pulling my shoulders back, my palm, and this feels wonderful, opening up my chest, and I'm exhaling, pushing it forward. The reason that it has to be intentional is that if you don't do it intentionally, then it'll be more challenging, especially during push hands or doing any particular training, sparring, but especially in grappling, to softly remove the shoulder from a lock, to remove the arm from a lock. I noticed that it's very easy for me to slide out of locks because I'm not using unnecessary tension in my shoulders. I'm not lifting my shoulder up. I'm sliding my waist and I'm essentially snaking out of stuff using, indirect tension, essentially. Many different versions of indirect tension. But essentially, I'm not putting tension in the area that actually needs to be unlocked. So when you do this, when you open the shoulders, it is a form of locking the shoulders. You're locking yourself back, flexing. So it costs a lot to pull. Versus here, where I'm really focused on the arms and softening the shoulder, going out. And I'm doing that to emphasize softness in that area. So let's do 6 of each. I'm standing on the inhalation, and we'll keep the shoulders soft, meaning that we won't move the shoulders at all. We're only inhaling through the fingertips, keeping the elbows down to minimize tension in the shoulders. Elbows down means they're not up here, they're down here. So that's even more minimal tension in the shoulders. Notice that the fingers are reaching. So I inhale and I reach out, and then I inhale and I reach in. My fingers are reaching in. toward my armpits like I'm going to scratch them. And then they go past, palm goes up. I soften the shoulders. Exhale, turn the palms so I go forward and down. Inhaling up. Even deeper. Palms up. Dropping down. 4 more. Emphasizing the softness in the shoulders. It's fairly easy for me at this point that I've been doing was training since a teenager for the softness in the shoulders, but anytime that I've gotten away from my training for a little bit, I've understood how people who have not been given this information for especially in their youth, how challenging it can be to soften the shoulders. So I just can't emphasize enough. Really keep focusing on softening out the elbows. The fingers are being lifted. Everything else is being at the absolute maximum. There's a small idea of a string holding up your wrist, but not the elbow or anything else. The wrist holds the rest of the arm. If I just let my whole arm go limp, the wrist is being held up by imaginary string and is counterbalanced by the fingertips. So, or augmented by the fingertips. So all those little ideas make it into the biomechanic. 2 more. Out. And now we'll stay seated, inhaling out even deeper, opening the chest. Now we're opening the shoulders and pulling them back. So we're pulling it back almost like we're doing chamber for like a Shaolin Kung Fu form, like the chamber fist position, high chamber. So think about it like that. So you're really feeling the shoulder blades connecting in the back, in the upper back. And don't pull so hard that it hurts, but really feel the opening. Notice the chest is opening. And then exhale, sink, sit, push forward. And just feel the difference in intentionally opening the shoulders and what that means for you. And I mean like you personally. And notice, at the very least, I notice in myself, when I do that, I have to add even more emphasis on softening the elbows when I open up here, because I want to make sure that my reach and the opening here is very intentional. But that tension that I gather here can be hard to dissipate if I don't intentionally put my mind on relaxing. So in other words, I can unconsciously keep tension if I don't intentionally relax it. So I'm going to stay seated for the rest. 4 more. Side, open up. Exhale. Intentional relaxing. Fingers back. My shoulders pull back. One more. Top of the hands down. Inhaling up, one over the other, you can stand, and then exhale out. Okay. Exhaling even deeper. Inhaling up, 1, even deeper, 2. Exhale, push the breath. And it's as if you're pulling a string about 6 inches apart here at the hands. The elbows will go here. It won't go all the way out, meaning it won't go back. Not the Shaolin or even the Chen style Tai Chi. Bang, coming out. So we're not doing that. We're just going right to the sides here. Notice that my hip line is straight out here, and my elbow is in front of the hip line. So it's my elbows go in front of the hip line rather than straight out. So inhaling up 1, even deep 2, here. And then release the rest of the air as the hands drop down. Inhaling up 1, even deeper 2, as I'm energizing my fingertips. Exhale, I'm emphasizing the breath work to the blades of the elbow, tips of the elbows. Inhale, draw the collar into the belly. Exhale, push out. 1. And you can switch the hand every. Notice that my right hand is over my left hand now. Exhale. Now my left hand goes over my right hand. Right is over my left. Left is over the right. I'm lifting my wrists, and then I'm energizing my fingertips. And even in these little moments, like understanding the detail here, I'm lifting my wrists up first, and then energizing my fingertips second, and then exhale out. All of that intentional movement really changes your experience, because if you don't have the intention, then you're doing it unconsciously. And if you're not conscious of it, then you can't necessarily take advantage of your body mechanic because you're not aware of what you're actually doing. So inhaling, lifting the wrists up 1, and notice that my elbows are down. And then 2, inhaling, reaching the fingertips. So my elbows become sharp by nature of the fingertips reaching. A lot of times when I'll do an elbow, I'll reach in. You'll notice there's a lot of a Shaolin posture, but I'm reaching in to help create that blade. So it's a really wonderful experience to know that my reach is counteracting, is the counterpoint to this sharp elbow. I have an idea going this way, but the emphasis is going this way, sharp. Oh, right there. So inhaling up, just the wrists, breath lifting the wrist, inhaling even deeper, the fingers pull, and then emphasizing to the elbow. Up, down. 1, 2. You can stand if you'd like on the inhalation. 1, 2, and sink on the exhalation. Remember, it's a 2-part inhalation and 2-part exhalation. Exhalation pushes the color visualization through the elbows. Second exhalation just relaxes, decompresses everything. Then inhaling out. 2. Now, if you stay seated, try to get the same explosiveness without the drop. And the drop is overt. When I mean without the drop, I mean without the overt drop. We're going to stay doing the little drop, and the little drop can happen just in the tailbone, softening the tailbone rather than doing the big drop down. So 1, 2. Inhaling up, even deeper. Exhaling down. 2 uplifting heavens. Stretching out. Exhale down. 1. Stretching out. And going into your horse stance again. We're going to do dragon whips its tail. And lots of things called dragon whips its tail. So we're going to do this version of dragon whips its tail. So here you have one hand up and one hand down. There's a bunch of different variations. We've done some of this before. turning the waist. You can inhale up, switching, exhale, sink and sit. Inhale, emphasizing the top hand, I'm the middle finger, top hand. Notice that both palms are facing toward in the same direction. My bottom hand palm, my top hand palm are facing the same direction. And you would absolutely use this positioning if you have a hand behind, let's say, an opponent's shoulder or back, and the other hand blocking the inside of their arm. So you would take someone, maybe you're going to be playing push hands with somebody, you might get a little underhook and block their other arm that's trying to come up and cross your body. Maybe they're trying to go for attack one arm. So you block the other arm and you turn them. And this is a very, very natural, this happens very organically, but you train this wonderful exercise to clarify the motion. I mean, it's a technique, it's a repositioning technique. And sometimes you can even turn it into a throw, meaning that, if you're playing with an opponent that doesn't have that great of footing, they may just fall from you repositioning them, which happens a lot. Inhaling up, inhale up. And really focus on the waist here, meaning leave the hips behind. We're not going to use the hips just yet. Just use the waist. Keep the hips static, twisting the waist, and really feel the work being done. And we're exhaling the sink and sit. Inhaling, standing up. Exhale, sink and sit. We're going to do a bunch of variations right now. So now we're going to inhale as we go across. Exhale on the switch. Inhale as we go across. Exhale on the switch. And now I want you to change the intention a bit. When you exhale, feel yourself almost as if you're going to sleep. Super soft. Very relaxed. Look at my eyes. My eyes even get a little droopy on this moment. So I'm doing my best to feel myself really like I'm just going to sleep, getting very relaxed into my position. And inhale, waking up. And when I inhale, waking up, these fingers, index, middle finger, thumb, become like straws, as if I'm slurping a soda down or some sort of delightful milkshake through these fingers. And the color visualization, the breath that's coming in through that breath work, through that inhalation, that straw goes into the belly. I'm emphasizing more the top hand more than the bottom hand, but the bottom hand agrees and helps to create the full shape, the full structure. So inhale, waking up. You should feel very alive here. Exhale, go to sleep. Inhale, very alive. Exhale, go to sleep. Inhale, very alive. Exhale, go to sleep. Inhale, very alive. Exhale, go to sleep. Inhale, deep, very alive. Sleep. And again, you're leaving the hips behind. Just really turn the waist. And now we're going to switch the intention again. And we're going to exhale, inhale. Notice that the hands now are less structured, like they're controlling an opponent's body. So the first shape was shorter because you're shorter distance and you're controlling the opponent's full, you actually have a position behind their body. Now we're lengthening the arms. By lengthening the arms, we're doing more of a strike and a parry rather than a reposition, a body weight reposition. Doesn't mean that you can't reposition someone's body weight by having control of their hands, etc., because you can. It is just not an optimal control point. It will not result in the most, it's more effective to have the elbow and more effective to have the shoulder and the actual body itself than having a particular, like, a pinky. So here we're inhale up. Actually, let's stay seated. Inhale, exhale. And the end posture and position is going to be closer to here, as if you're slapping. So for this version of it, which is actually the first version I learned, this version is much more akin to slapping a wall behind you. So the bottom hand slapping the wall, the top hand guarding and parrying. And again, we're leaving the waist behind, the hips behind. You really want to feel the waist turning. Get the waist flexible, strong, warm it up. Do your best to keep the imaginary string for the top of the head. And when you inhale, you're drawing the color in. When you exhale, you're pushing the color out through the hands. Inhale, drawing it in. Exhale, drawing it out to the hands. And now we're going to switch to breathing so that we can give the exact opposite. Inhale, draw it. Exhale, push the color out to the hands. Yeah. And now we're going to bring it back to the tighter structure with the same breathing. Notice that my hands are more rounded now. My arms are more rounded. Still using just the waist. Inhaling out, exhaling down. Notice that I'm scooping. I'm still doing the drop, but I'm doing the drop as I turn. Before we were doing a switch and then a turn, switch and then a turn. Now we're doing the drop, the switch as we turn. It looks like we're rolling around. And now let's add the hip a little bit. And notice that I'm still doing my best to now leaving my kneecap behind. Because when I turn the hip, knee comes with it. So you push the kneecap out and you'll feel this stretching right here. Inside the leg, groin area. So you want to push the knee out gently, softly, to help get a little torque from the kneecap, a little from the hip. Just a little bit of that torque power. Exhaling and switching sides for the breath work. Eye and the middle finger of the top hand, or the rising hand. And now we're going to throw one leg back, and now I'm in a front stance. 1 foot forward, back foot out 45 degrees, 70% of my weight forward. So I have a very, very technical push hand stance here. It's a very technical, very practical boxing style, sparring style push hand stance. I'm locking into that front leg. Boom, very relaxed. From here, I'm going to inhale, open up. Notice that the hip is going to come no matter what. So now we're less worried about the hip and the knee turning with the hip. That's okay because we can pivot the foot. Whether you pivot the foot on the ball of the foot like a boxer, or you pivot on the heel, more Tai Chi style, either one is fine. You can play with both if you want to get that detail. I encourage you to be that detailed. I do whatever feels right for that moment. Sometimes I'll go from heel to ball foot pivot, which is totally fine. The weight stays 70% on the foot. In other words, we're not doing this. We're not going from one side to the other side. That is a different exercise. Maybe we'll do that, but we're going to focus on you taking the body weight and moving it while staying on the front leg. So it means that your opponent's in front of you, you get the underhook, you block the arm, boom, and you throw them that way, and you stay here so you don't move. If you were to come this way, it could work. It does work sometimes, but that's not what we're doing. I would say on this one. And one of the important things about this little concept here is that notice that the shifting of my weight, just to understand why we're not doing this right now, is because the shifting of the weight should always be strategic and intentional. And it's very structured, meaning that if I open my back foot, I don't turn into my back leg as I draw weight into it. That's dangerous for your kneecap. So you really want to know where you're going before you move the body, rather than, just it happens in the moment. Your mind has to be fast enough to know what's going to happen next before it happens. So like the moment that's what people on the outside are going to see. You have to perceive it before it happens. So to keep yourself safe. So you open the leg up, and that'll happen in a fraction of a second. And then you shift in, wind up, and throw. It's not just a dropping down or dropping down. These are very nice movements, but even here, I'm still opening the leg before I go into it. It's very rare when you see me double pivot, which Shuai Jiao folks do. Even in Taiwan, the Tai Chi guys do. It's very dangerous for the kneecaps, and I don't play like that. They do some amazing stuff with those spin heel toe kind of spins, great stuff. But I'm very cautious and conscious of that. So you'll never hear that kind of coaching from me, unless someone changes my mind. I'm always open to evolve. So stay on the front leg. And now let's break this down and get more technical again, because we're getting really super flowy. Let's get really technical. Exhale, switch. Inhale, turn. Exhale, switch. Inhale, turn. So on the front leg, exhale, switch. Inhale up, exhale, go to sleep. Inhale up. Notice that when I go to sleep this time, because of my more practical fighting mechanic posture now, I'm adapting the Neigong to the reverse breathing Tai Chi mechanic, going to sleep. Inhale, waking up. Exhale, go to sleep. Inhale, waking up. Sleep. Inhale, waking up. Sleep. Again, my back foot pivoting, my front foot stays very structured still. The weight on the inside of the legs is important to note. I feel the weight coming toward the outside of my leg as I turn this way, as I open up, and then turn again, and now it goes to the inside of the leg. Turning, dropping, inhale, stays going forward and starts to favor the outside of my thigh. Boom, so I feel more work happening here. And exhale. As I exhale, my hips, notice that my hips roll inward to counterbalance the pressure. And then inhale up. So these are very, very practical, really important things to be aware of when you're doing push hands with folks. Switch legs and exhale. Inhale up. Inhale up. And 4 more. And 2 up to heaven. One more. Feet together, feet 2 fists apart, parallel. Inhale, breath lifts the wrist. Fingers reach the back, chest up, hips forward. Weight on the toes, exhale, butt back, fingers forward. Soften the knees. Inhale, yeah. Fingers to the back, chest up, hips forward. Weight on the toes, exhale, butt back, fingers forward. Soften the knees, breath lifts the wrists. 1 foot goes forward. Exhale. Touch it down. Touch the toes. Inhale up. Switch. Exhale. Drop down. Inhale up. Switch 45 degrees. Exhale down. Touch. Inhale up. Switch 45. Inhale up. Switch 90 degrees. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. Top of the head. Exhale. Wash the color down. Inhale. Turn to the right. Exhale. Down. Inhale up. Turn to the left. Inhale up. Over the back of the head. Exhale. Wash down the head. Slap it. Inside, turn. Inside, turn. Shoulders. Like that. Inhale. Just the fingertips. Exhale down. 2 more. 1 more. Put hands together. And around the chest. Tapping. Massage. Sternum. 4 fingers. On the side, floating rib up. Again. Floating rib up. Collarbone. And look up. Inside the palm. On the chin, the neck, going all the way up. Very strong pressure, looking up. Relax the reproductive organs all the way through when you look up. And then the back of the neck is the counterpoint. Up from the face to the side, up on the face to the side, up to the side, around the ears, strong pressure. Index and middle finger, earlobes. To the scalp, front to back, back to front, front to back, back to front, massage the scalp. Front to back, back to front, slapping, front to back, back to front, hollow fist, gentle bang, front to back, front. And fingers in the scalp, and reverse it. Temples, and reverse. Under the eyes, and reverse. Nails, groove between the eyeball and bone around. Second circle bigger. Third circle biggest. Index finger or middle finger on the eyebrows, bridge of the nose, side of the nose, nostrils, massage the heart, top and bottom, switch, sides, switch, bottom, tongue, reverse it, hook, 1, 2, 3, switch, and flick the fingers out, thumbs, press and hold, and drill 1, 2, 3, tap, 3, top and bottom, and thumb, massaging the fingers and the sides. Top and bottom of the fingers, massaging into the pressure points, and then the sides. The massaging fingers will fall into the natural grooves on the receiving finger. That's where you'll find those wonderful pressure points. And then the sides, same thing. Top and bottom, and sides. Top and bottom, and sides. Press and hold between right here, right there. Press and hold. Feel the pressure point and then massage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side, press and hold. Center the palm and drill 1, 2, 3. Tap around 1, 2, 3. Top and bottom. sides, top and bottom, sides, top, bottom, sides, top and bottom, sides, top and bottom, sides. Press and roll, and right here, and massage. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, massage. And then 1, 2, 3, and grab. Close the eyes, inhale, white line to the body, to the belly, and use the sound to move the vibration, the white light visualization through the bones, specifically the bone marrow, and feel the vibration of your voice penetrating into the bone marrow. So you want to pay very close attention to the vibrations in the body as you make the sound. Inhale to the belly and push it throughout the bone marrow. Inhale, white line up the front of the body, toes to the top of the head. Exhale, roll down the back, head to heels. Inhale, left side. Exhale, down the right side. Inhale to the belly. Exhale, push it down the legs into the ground. Comes back up and around. Do your best to feel the color, the white light visualization going through the environment you're in. And one more breath into the belly. Exhale, push it to the top of the head and feel it going out into the entire environment, the sound vibrating around you. Just have gratitude for the body, feel that white light in the body, all around the body, and gratitude for the space that you're in, good people in your life. Thank you as usual. This has been Justice for Hire's Tai Chi to the People. I'm Coach Jan, and yeah, justiceforhire.app is where you can join the cast of our global cast. You can become a hero or a villain or a client that hires heroes and villains. And we're doing live editing every day, 5 days a week. And you'll see how the show is coming together on twitch.tv/justiceforhire. You can invest in our social film studio that's producing Justice for Hire, Real World, REELWURLD, because you're in it. And you can invest in us from WeFunder. That's wefunder.com/realworld. And we do this every Tuesday. So you're always welcome. Invite friends, and I hope to see you there. And this will be on the Justice for Hire channel. It'll be on my Coach Jan's Tai Chi, Sports Tai Chi Push Hands channel. And I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I'll see you soon. Press the stop.